So here we are at Lobositz, and the inexorable tide of the Prussian army keeps inching forward. They're afraid to hit the Austrians. They don't want to break as well. So they're willing to take this very slowly. It doesn't terribly help them, except that they get to fire their artillery in hopes of softening things up and on each move. So as long as they're only going 1 hex per turn, their artillery gets to shoot each time. Otherwise, it doesn't really help them. They might as well just charge, because they're going to face 1 shot for each hex taken for each unit, no matter what. It's an interesting thought, but personally, I think, and I'm not sure what the scale of these hexes is supposed to be. I haven't looked that up, but given, yeah, here we go, 100 yards, which is about similar to most tactical games, really. I think TSS has 150 yards. Actually, I think the musket range may be a little long, given that it works at 2 hexes for just about everything. These aren't all rifle armed, so that seems beyond the effective range. Not that it's terribly effective at 2 hexes. Certainly things like the Grenzers are going to be armed with rifles. They don't seem to have a tremendous advantage firing at 2 hexes. Anyway, we're seeing, what I'm thinking is, at least in the last few hexes, there should be some incentive for charging forward. There doesn't seem to be. Now, maybe that's a age of reason thinking here, which is that formations really didn't charge forward, and that pulling your guns up every little bit. Certainly Frederick had a tendency to pull his guns up forward. I don't see why the Austrians have that. And to tell you the truth, the way the rules are described is kind of weird, because P on these guns is supposed to be prolonged, and they're supposed to be allowed to do first fire and then move the gun by prolong. But the specific rules for this scenario, or for this game, say that the FP allows them to fire and prolong. What the hell is that supposed to mean? So I don't know if the Austrian cannons only can't fire by prolong, or if everything can't unless it has an FP. I've been allowing them to fire by prolong because my understanding is that Frederick's guns were actually pretty good at doing that, better than anyone else's. However, the Austrian artillery is praised in this scenario. It doesn't appear to be terribly better. The ranges, let's see, 8 through 12 is times 4, that's 6 through 9. So, it's a little better. Oh, wait, 7 through 10, no, it doesn't get in there. So, it does appear to be more accurate, which is kind of cool. I don't know what it means, though. So I'm kind of fudging it, along with a lot of things in this game. And we're seeing Lacey's command marching up through Welholta. It's going the wrong way, in a sense. But this is the direction for the proposed relief of the Saxon force. I'm going to move the rest of the forces southward, and I think that's fine. Austria's leaving the map. We're going to see if there's any pursuit. It should be fun. Let's see who gets the next action. It's going to be another Austrian action. Alright, I just accidentally overran a Prussian unit with another Prussian unit. This is probably pretty pointless. I don't see a point in playing out this attempted pursuit. These things can be interesting. That just kind of hammered the point in for me. Oops. But I cost it against the Austrians. Alright, I think I'm going to call this, because for the most part, there's just not, the Prussians can't make it. Here they could catch part of this conceivably with a head-on charge, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just so unlikely, though, and it's not going to be all that interesting. And the mechanisms are just as hard, no matter what I'm doing. It's not like there's, except for the fact that there's no Austrian artillery rolling every single hex I move. But still, there's still a significant cost to playing this one. And, you know, my guess is probably these strength points are dead. If I can stop hitting my Prussian cav with other Prussian cav. Alright, so as a wrap up, Prussians definitely won a pretty serious victory. They nowhere near being demoralized. They're at 123. The army's in pretty good shape, whereas the Austrians are at 220 plus at least another 10 factors are going to go in the withdrawal. So we're looking at a pretty heavy loss here. If the Austrians had decided to hold, they might have done more damage. I mean, they certainly would have done more damage to the Prussians, but I think their army would be pretty much destroyed at that point, and I would rather not play that kind of thing out. As to this, yeah, I feel a little guilty for not playing the Pursuit, but, you know, life is only so long, right? Alright, I'm going to load this one up. I'll come back with a review.